Hello! A couple months ago I featured a book in my haul video that I didn't actually get to read because by the time I was going to get around to it, it was due back at the library and I couldn't renew because someone else had it on hold, which made me happy because someone else wanted to read a book that I wanted to read, but they wanted to read that very copy, so that was a problem. I finally got it out again, and what do you know, it took me like 2 weeks to read it because unexpected things that just got blown out of proportion and everything took all my time. So, I finally read it. The book was Dead Mountain, The Untold True Story of the Dyatlov Pass Incident by Donnie Eichar. This book was recommended to me by Goodreads. The Dyatlov Pass Incident, and forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, I don't really know much about Russian language, but it's something that I don't think a lot of Americans know about. It's kind of a Russian-centric story, but this book was published last year, so I wouldn't be surprised if it brings a lot more attention in at least the American culture. In 1959, a group of 9 hikers went up on this mountain. These 9 hikers apparently fled their tent in the middle of the night to go out into the freezing cold, possibly snowstorm conditions. They didn't have shoes on. They were in various states of undress. Nobody was prepared for that kind of weather. And when they were found, a couple of them had evidence of injuries, and injuries caused by some kind of force. And the way Eichar presents it, he kind of takes you chronologically through the different discoveries that were made and theories that were brought about from those discoveries, and then he might discount them. And that's a little bit frustrating because you start thinking, oh, maybe it was this, and then he says, actually, they decided it couldn't have been this because it was actually like that. Eichar is telling 3 different stories simultaneously. He's telling about the events leading up to the incident. He's talking about the search party and the investigation that followed the discovery of the bodies, and he's also talking about his own search to find out what might have happened to the people and his own journey retracing their steps up the mountain and his theory that he developed as a result of all that. It was a little jumpy sometimes to go back and forth between all those different storylines, but if you just stay focused, it was fine. Lots of Russian names and it gets confusing, but by the end, I mean, the hikers, they definitely have a personality, and that was one thing that really hit me. These young people, most of them were college age, they were having so much fun. There's lots of pictures, and, they take time to be silly, and there's speculation that a couple of the men had crushes on the 2 girls that were in the group with them, and just the horrible conditions in which they were found, and, Eichar was determined to find a solution. He got obsessed with this case, even though it was a cold case, but he was determined to find something that had a scientific background to it. As much as I wanted to believe that there was some kind of government conspiracy, cover-up thing, I think that the theory that he puts out, which is some kind of weather anomaly, freaky weather phenomena. It really seems like the viable answer. And at the end, he gives a sequence of events that he thinks probably happened the night that they all ran out into the storm. And it's scary. It's whether you believe that theory is correct or not, it's really creepy. The thought of dying when you're, 300 feet away from your shelter and you're disoriented and you can't see anything and maybe you're injured and you're freezing and you feel like you're alone, but you don't know that your friend is just 50 feet over there. It's terrifying. There are some awful ways to die, but that's gotta be one of the worst. If you like natural disaster stories or unexplained phenomena, true stories, cold case files, mountain stories. I think that you'd really enjoy this. It was a compelling story and a compelling theory at the end, and I'll be interested to see what else may come of it. If someone comes along and debunks the theory, or not. I wouldn't be surprised if there were talks about a movie deal. There it is, Dead Mountain. I recommend it.